Think Forward. Think Research Channel.
I started drinking when I was about 13 and a half.
I would have sips of alcohol at holidays.
When I started drinking, it was like the thing to do.
I always swore that I would never drink.
Alcoholism can affect any woman, regardless of her race or culture, regardless of whether she's rich or poor.
I used to always think I was unique because I thought, oh, I'm pretty, I'm young, I can't be an alcoholic.
I don't think like I'm special or anything. We all really came from the same place, and we all are just trying to stay sober.
When you take away the environment and the upbringing and the state that you live in and your income, there is no unique alcoholic. We all suffer from the same disease.
The person I am is far from unique. I'm like any other alcoholic who's trying to achieve sobriety.
Pound for pound, a woman reacts more to alcohol than a man.
I didn't want to be left out. I wanted everyone to like me as well. I wanted to be a part of this drinking crew. So.
Young girls should realize that they don't have to get involved with alcohol to be part of the crowd. They can be part of the crowd. They can be the leader of the crowd without depending on alcohol.
I didn't like the taste. It was revolting, but I loved how it made me feel. Honestly, I loved being drunk, and I didn't drink to not get drunk.
I could look back, and I would say I had started having the drinking problem. It was a problem as early as 17, 18 years of age, but I didn't see it as a problem.
When I was younger, I would drink with my friends, and I knew from the very beginning I was different. I thought back then I was cool because I could drink 3 or 4 beers. They could only drink 1 or 2, and they were already trash, and I could drink more. But if I'd have known what I'd known back then, I knew that something's up, something was wrong with me.
Research shows that genetics plays a big role in risk for alcoholism, but it's also clear that genetics isn't destiny. You can have all the risk factors and still not get into trouble with alcohol.
My father is a recovering alcoholic, and my mother can drink alcoholically. I'm not to be able to say that she is an alcoholic. That's for her to decide, but, and my brothers have had drinking problems.
I want my kids to know about alcohol and what it can do to you, especially since they're so sensitive, I'm going to say, since I'm an alcoholic. And well, actually, both of their mother and their father are alcoholics, so I know that when they try it or if they even mess around with it, it's dangerous for them, and I want them to know that.
I had a lot of curiosity as growing up, also because I come from a family of alcoholics. So my curiosity also kicked in as well, as much as the peer pressure.
First, I thought it was a social way of drinking, but then later it didn't seem that social.
My father was a drinker from way back. As a matter of fact, we can trace the alcoholism back 5 generations on his side.
For many years, we've known about the effects of alcohol on men, but now research is addressing alcohol and its effects on women. So we know much more about the negative effects of alcohol on girls and women.
As I got older, my drinking just progressed. You see the teeny little shot glasses, that wasn't me, that wasn't enough. That just could not get it for me. I had to have, like a half a glass in order to feel, I wanted the full effect. I didn't want to halfway do it. The first one was always the burning feeling, but after that, it was nothing.
I had 2 bottles of wine that I finished off by myself, and on an empty stomach. Next thing I know, I wake up in a hospital in the emergency room the next day, and they're telling me that this time was really close. and because this was the 10th time in 5 months that I went in for alcohol poisoning.
I got invited to an amusement park one time, and I thought to myself, wow, do they serve beer there? You know, that's the first thing that popped in my head is, do they serve beer there? Because, you know, oh my God, how can I go there if they don't have any alcohol?
It really became terribly abusive about 8 years ago. The situation that I was in, we were drinking 18 beers every day. Without skipping a day, we would not go to functions because it interfered with our drinking.
We can't just take one drink.
I almost lost my kids when I would keep doing the leaving my kids with my mother, and she got pretty mad about that. So she called Child Protective Services on me. She told them, you know, my drinking was out of control. And we went to court, and I'm in a program right now, an outpatient program.
I had gotten arrested for trespassing, breaking and entering, possession, indecent exposure in public, drinking underage, distribution, you know, all of the above. I've been in with the law.
Women tend to have self-esteem issues and also codependency issues, feeling vulnerable, we want to be loved. If alcohol is a part of that relationship, it does make us more susceptible to try and please.
I've often said I had every itis that there is. I had colitis and just any itis that you can think of. I had coronary artery disease directly related to my abuse of alcohol. I had hepatitis, and I was very sick, and I nearly died. I had no idea it was related to alcoholism. I had no idea.
I had problems with anorexia for a while, and eventually I couldn't take not eating anymore and just drinking on an empty stomach, and so I started eating. And I couldn't take that either, so I started throwing up, but that combined with the liquor, I started to get ulcers.
I did not have good friends, and I could not count on them. My friends, you know, they left me in fields at night because I was so drunk that, you know, I was in the middle of a blackout and they didn't want to deal with it. So they're gonna, you know, and wake up alone in the middle of a field. Thank you.
I'd fall down and stuff, so when I wake up the next day, I'd have bruises all over my legs or my arms, or, you know, stitches even. One time I busted out a window, I remember that.
Whenever I was drinking, I was driving. And, you know, it didn't really matter to me. You know, there wasn't really, I didn't care about whether the police pulled me over. Actually, in my sick mind, I was actually thinking if the police did actually pull me over because my license was suspended, you know, they pulled me over, I'm gonna keep going. I want to be on a high-speed chase. You know, this is the kind of crazy thinking that I had.
I've been sober for 37 years.
I've been sober 3.5 years.
I've been sober for almost 3 months.
I've been sober 9 months.
Was 7.5 months sober.
Alcohol research holds the promise for not only better treatment, but prevention as well.
I just got sick of being sick and sought recovery.
I have a lot of hope, but at the same time, I'm also very scared that I'm gonna forget that I am an alcoholic. And people, you know, they look at me and they probably almost think, you know, how can you be an alcoholic if you're only 18 years old? Thinking they're right. How can I be an alcoholic? I haven't done this long enough. You know, I was just getting started. It was, yeah, it wasn't fun at the end, but it could be fun again.
You know, you gotta give yourself a chance. I was afraid of my own success for a long time in the beginning of my sobriety.
Our message is really one of hope. Research has helped us learn that there are treatments that women can undertake that will help them bring their alcoholism under control.
If I am denying that I have a disease because I don't know about it, I can't recover.
Stop detoxing and begin to start getting your head together again. You can, you know, you're able to start talking to people. Things just get easier and things just start happening for you. Like things just, little miracles will start happening. that you take for granted before you're sober. It's amazing.
I have regained my self-worth, my self-esteem, that I am a strong and smart and good child of God.
Been sober for 18 months, and I feel like today I can go on through another day.
I do every day battle with this. I can't predict the future. I mean, I just try to, little by little every day, fight with it or say to myself, well, today this is not what I'm gonna do.
When I first came here, I didn't want to be sober, and I didn't even think I was gonna make it to a month. I thought a month would be a miracle, but now I have almost 9 months, so.
Having 9 months clean and sober is a beautiful feeling. I mean, I've managed to hold my job, and I mean, the boss just adores me. Everybody there, they know I'm coming in. It just feels good that I'm able to get up, not being hungover. I'm able to look people eye to eye. I'm able to shake their hand, because I have corporate office business people coming in the job, and I've got to face them. And I mean, it's a good feeling not standing there with liquor on my breath from the night before.
In recovery and sobriety, I've learned that doing for myself, then I'm better able to do for others.
I have friends. I am back on track with school, and I'm doing good so far, and that's a miracle.
There's no shame in being an alcoholic. There's no shame whatsoever.
Don't leave before the miracle happens, because it does work.